If you guys have been following my channel about community college related advice, there's a link in every single video description of mine that has a Google Docs link where I give you the chance to ask any question related to community college, or it doesn't even have to be related to community college, you know. I give you the chance to ask a question and then I answer it in a video form. And I've done a couple of these videos in the past. You can probably find them somewhere, but to be honest, I feel kind of bad. I have not been keeping up with it recently. And I did mention that I will answer every single question, but little did I know that there was gonna be this many questions. So I've been looking at the questions, and to be completely honest, a large portion of the questions are pretty quality questions. They are very good questions. So I feel like I should answer them and give you my best advice on each question asked. So let's go. Question number 1. How much time did you spend studying on average every week in community college to secure a 4.0 GPA? That's a good question. So when it comes to studying, when it comes to preparing for exams, you know, essays, quizzes, whatever, there is no specific, you know, time length that you should study every week. So I can't say, hey, you have to study 4 hours a week or 10 hours a week or 20 hours a week to maintain a 4.0. It all depends on who you are, how you study, how long it takes you to study and retain the information. That's the most important thing. You can study 100 hours a week, but if you're not remembering the stuff that you're studying, if you're not retaining the information, then, you know, in my opinion, it's kind of a waste of time. It's like practicing basketball for 10 hours, but only shooting half-court shots. It's like, bro, you're just wasting your time. You're not just practice a mid-range, bro. Practice a three-pointer, practice a layup. So I can't really say how much you should study when it comes to, you know, putting in the hours. But for me, at community college, it all really depended on what class it was, you know, what semester. You know, sometimes if there was a pre-calculus test that I had to study for, and math is my worst subject, you know, I had to put, you know, maybe 2 hours a day to study for that test. Whereas if it's like a history test or, you know, like an English essay, it could probably take me, you know, 2 hours one day and then just finish the entire thing. So it all really depended on, you know, what class I took, you know, what subject it was. But I say to be safe, for each class, I put in at least 2 hours of study time. So if I took, you know, 4 classes a semester, I'd probably study 8 hours. Obviously not in one day, but I would spread it throughout the week. You know, 8 hours may seem kind of long, but dude, there's 24 hours in a day. If you study 1 hour a day, you can do 8 hours in 8 days. You know, but it all really depends on what class it was. So I can't really give you a specific answer on this. To be safe, study so that you're confident in the material. Don't try to study 80%, don't try to study 70%, because that's what I used to do in high school. I would always study to get the minimum, and then when I did that, I realized I didn't get the minimum. I was always below the average. Study to the point where you're confident in the material. Question number 2. Once you transfer to a university, do they provide you transfer students with dorms? That's a pretty good question. So I'd say that it all depends on where you go, what school you go to, because I know that different schools have different opportunities for housing. You know, sometimes the colleges have their own housing inside the campus. Sometimes they have outdoor housing, as in it's owned by the school, but it's not inside the school, it's outside the school. So for me, I went to USC and I was a junior transfer. For me, I lived in a place called Troy Hall my first semester, and Troy Hall it's USC owned housing, USC owned apartments, but it's located outside the campus. So everyone in the building, in the Troy Hall building, were USC students. And I'd say in my particular case, about 80% of the people that lived on my floor were either sophomore transfers or junior transfers like myself. So for me, it was easy to meet others, you know, because we were all on the same boat. I wasn't mixed with freshmen. I don't even think they mix you with freshmen. They do provide you with dorms, but check the college to make sure for sure. Question number 3. Did you rush a fraternity at USC as a junior? Was it hard to get a bid since you were older? So I feel like I did answer this question in another video, but I did rush a frat at USC. For me, it was an interesting experience because I honestly didn't know much about Greek life. I did know what Greek life was, but I didn't know, the specifics, like what you have to do. So, when I went to USC, my first couple weeks there, I saw a lot of people wearing Greek life attire, Greek life shirts or whatever. So I was like, damn, is everyone here in a frat or in a sorority? So when the rush week came, I was just curious and I went to the rush. I don't know, I got the bid. I was accepted to the fraternity, but I don't know if it was easier or if it was harder because I was a junior. It's pretty funny. I should make this another video, but when you're rushing a frat, you're kind of a bitch, a pledge, that's what they call you. But for me, I honestly did not give a fuck. Like, as a pledge, if you do rush a fraternity, you have to do a bunch of bullshit ass tasks. Like, it'd be 1 in the morning and one of the brothers would call you and they say something like, hey, can you buy me a 6-pack of beer? Or can you buy me some cigarettes? Can you bring me some McDonald's? And they call people in my pledge class, my brothers in my pledge class, and they would do it. But when they asked me, I honestly said no. I was like, I remember one time when I was pledging, one of the brothers, he asked me if he could drive his girlfriend to LAX, Los Angeles airport, and I literally picked up the phone and I was like, bro, are you serious, dude? No, I'm not doing this shit. And I just hung up. That's probably enough for me to get kicked out, but nothing happened. I still got accepted, but I did rush a frat. I don't know if it was harder or easier. I say it all depends on the person. Question number 4. Hey man, I just got out of high school with some pretty good offers, but I just really want to go to California, specifically Berkeley. The issue is I live in Dubai, which makes my decision even harder to make. Would it be possible to have a Zoom call with you? So first, congrats. You got into a lot of good colleges from Dubai, not even in America. That's better than me. I got into 0. So you're already a step up. Would it be possible to have a Zoom call with you? To be completely honest, I have been getting some questions about this, Zoom calls or like private one-on-one calls. Some people have been finding my personal email, emailing me questions and like their stories. People have been DMing me about this stuff, and I don't know. I really don't know what I'm gonna do, but I did open up a private one-on-one consulting and mentorship program a couple months back. I didn't do it for that long. I only took like 8 people, but I might open it again. I still have to figure out the logistics on like what I have to do, but I feel like since there is a good amount of people who need help, personal, private, one-on-one help, I may, do something about it. And I feel like I should do something about it. So that I will probably update you guys in a little while. So there's so many questions. There's over 150 questions that I have to answer. And obviously I can't do this in one video. So I'm just gonna split this up into several videos. If you guys have other questions related to community college, just put it in the Google Docs link below. And if it's a question that I haven't answered, I'll probably answer it. So good luck with everything and don't do drugs, kids.